Welcome to CEACich Aquatics first member meeting. We're out at the Ramada Hotel by the Des Moines Airport, and we've got an absolutely beautiful venue that we anticipate being able to hold at least 50 people. We've got shallow attendance on our first meeting here, but more than anything, we just wanted to provide an introduction to CEACich Aquatics and what we're trying to do in the greater Iowa area. If you're not familiar with CEACich Aquatics, we've got a lot of promotional material that we'll be happy to provide you with. CEACich Aquatics originated as a Facebook group. About 2 years ago, my nephew Ashton Bella and myself, Stephen Wood, thought about opening up a new Facebook group concentrating on African cichlids. So CEACich Aquatics was originally created as an acronym standing for Central Eastern African Cichlids. Over time, as our audience grew, we found that a lot of our aquarists and hobbyists had desires outside of the realm of just African cichlids. So we rebranded ourselves, and CEACich became Corals, Exotics, and African Cichlids. Exotics pretty much standing for anything under the sun. So we've really opened up our audience to just about any freshwater or saltwater enthusiast. We're interested in corals, we're interested in tropical fish, freshwater, oddballs, cichlids, South Americans, Africans, anything that people express interest in maintaining. So what are we trying to do? We're wanting to expand beyond just the Facebook group. Over time, I've witnessed time and time again drama ensuing within Facebook groups. Quite often, the lack of face-to-face interaction leads to a confusion. There's a loss of context in communication when people are just transcribing from behind their computer screens. And oftentimes it leads to misunderstanding and oftentimes drama that's unwarranted. So we'd like to change that and bring back the club to our area. In years past, there have been very successful clubs throughout the state of Iowa, bringing in enthusiasts from all areas of stewardship. And we'd like to see that again. We'd like to see the day where people are coming together on a frequent basis to share their experiences about their fish keeping, about the breeding that they're doing within their home, about species preservation, about do-it-yourself endeavors of making your own sumps, your own filters, your own equipment or lighting. There's good resources on the web presently, but we'd like to draw upon the resources in our community and share that knowledge. So we've expanded CEACich Aquatics from beyond just the Facebook group to now also having a Facebook page, which is representative of our nonprofit effort, CEACichaquatics.org. And after this video, I'll post links to all of these resources so that you all are aware of what's out there. CEACichaquatics.org is our public-facing website for our nonprofit organization. You can think of CEACich Aquatics much like a fraternity or a social organization such as Kiwanis or the Lions Club. We're organizing ourselves in the same manner as a 501c7. That is a nonprofit association gathered for the purposes of knowledge transfer and species preservation. So we have a particular interest in identifying species that are threatened or endangered in their natural setting, and we reward those people within the club that try to go to efforts of species preservation and procreation so we can relieve pressure on wild-caught demand. So we've got this new association. We're working on our 501c7 designation. And what this means is we're trying to form a club. And this club is going to have bi-monthly membership meetings like this one today, where people can come together and do a mini swap of fish they might have bred or small equipment that they might wish to share with each other, but a central meeting place so that we can connect the faces with the names that we see online all of the time. And I'll let Dustin talk about our member meetings here in a little bit. But in addition to our public-facing website and our member meetings, we intend to have a knowledge base. on CEACichaquatics.org, we do have a knowledge base that needs development. So it needs membership and participation. The only people who get to see that part of our website are paying members. And that does bring me to membership. The whole purpose of membership, or the fees associated with a membership, are to drive world-class events so that we can have swaps on more than just an annual basis and bring in some of the best commercial and private vendors to those events. So we want to have swaps, we want to have member meetings, and that requires facilities and electricity and power. So the fees and membership go to support those types of events, but also we're partnering with other associations and nonprofits, such as the Eastern Iowa Aquatic Association and the Greater Iowa Reef Society. In fact, CEACich Aquatics has our next event in March, scheduled with GERS, or the Greater Iowa Reef Society, and we've got 17,000 square feet reserved at the Phil Knapp Animal Learning Center at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. So we're really excited about this partnership. Greater Iowa Reef Society is also organized as a nonprofit association, as is the Eastern Iowa Aquatic Association. And so we have great intentions of partnering with all nonprofit aquatic associations that are interested in affiliation with us. So this knowledge base I spoke of and the membership that I spoke of. The knowledge base is old school for some. A lot of people have progressed into Facebook and Facebook groups to get their knowledge transfer about species, but we're hoping that our website provides a more searchable forum to find information about species that you are contemplating, about their breeding, water chemistry, their environmental conditions, so that we as good stewards can do our best at approximating their natural environments. So we'll have member meetings, we've got our knowledge base, we've got our website, we've got our Facebook page. We also intend on having a quarterly newsletter, and we want to draw upon those in our membership that have expertise on various topics. And it doesn't look like I've got a copy of it. Yes, The Tributary was our first issue, and it was a fairly brief newsletter. It was 7 pages in length, but it did feature 2 articles from our members and also our committee officers about crayfish and probiotics. So there's good content to be found within our newsletter, and we're looking for people who are interested in participating in each of these arenas. So we formed committees, and in our bylaws, we formed a breeder award program committee, a swap and auction committee, a public relations committee, a newsletter committee, and a member meeting planning committee as well. So 5 committees, and we're looking for active participation out of our members. In fact, we had hoped to use this event as a forum for some nominations of interested parties, but in the weeks to come, we'll be taking names of interested persons that might want to participate in each committee. So in the newsletter, I'm presently the newsletter chair, but this is not up my alley. I never was in the realm of publications or correspondence or English courses, so this is not my forte. We're looking for a person that could chair that committee to draw upon the expertise of our membership and really produce a world-class newsletter on a quarterly basis, which isn't too much demand. But the more content that we can gather from our Iowa experts and put into a digestible format, the better. Also, I'm on the PR committee. So the PR committee is not a fun one. It can be, because we're there to promote future events. And so it's marketing, it's sales, it's membership driving. But at the same side, we have to deal with the negativity associated with the drama that ensues among members and among Facebook group participants. And so public relations is a double-edged sword. There's some good and there's some bad, but I'd be more than happy to talk with anyone who's interested perhaps in that committee. We've got a swap and auction committee. So we just had our swap at the fairgrounds, and that was 7,000 square feet. We had 350 in attendance. It was a really good event. We also were able to raise money with a bake sale And all proceeds went to assist the Spina Bifida Association of Iowa. Really good cause, and we try to take on such a cause on each of our large events. And again, we plan on having at least 2 large swaps every year, and so we'd definitely be interested in your participation in helping to plan those world-class events. We are actually going to have a fantastic guest speaker at our next swap in March out at the fairgrounds, and that's Scott Fellman of Tannin Aquatics. He also has an extensive history with the saltwater environment as well. I used to work with him back in the 80s in Omaha. But he's flying out from California and will be speaking on a myriad of topics. I think they've got 3 different sessions for him planned. We're really looking forward to him coming out. So we've got public relations, we've got newsletter, we've got our member meetings and swap and auction committee and breeder award program. So that is probably a transition time for me to have Dustin speak just for a moment about what he sees or envisions for our member meeting. So I'm going to come around and speak to us briefly about that as well. Thank you, Dustin. And Dustin, why don't you pronounce your last name for us too? I know there's been some confusion over that in the past as well.
Hi, my name is Dustin McNH. I'm doing the charge of the bi-monthly meetings. I hope to see a lot of your faces here. It's a great way to meet everybody, swap things with each other. Some of the things I have planned, I'd like to do a couple DIY meetings, make our own brine shrimp hatcheries, different things like that. We have great local people that's excellent in different species of fish, filtration. I'd like to get some of them here to be able to speak, be able to learn new things.
And do we always plan on having our member meetings here, or do you have any hopes for tank tours or any of those types of events?
Yes, I'd like to do a tank tour. Everybody has great tanks at their house. They'd love to show off. We all like to see other people's tanks. So that could be one meeting where we just follow each other to each person's house, check out tanks. But for the most part, our meetings will be here.
Wonderful. And so we have this space reserved every other month. So bi-monthly member meetings at this location at the Ramada Hotel by the airport on Army Post in Des Moines, Iowa. And then we'll probably hope to supplement those with perhaps intermittent tank tours at people's homes or other like events.
Yep, this will pretty much always be the meeting spot. We could go from there to the tank tours or different stores across Des Moines, different things like that.
What about guest speakers? Plan on having some guest speakers come in, I guess maybe just draw from our own membership base?
Yeah, I'd like to draw from our own membership base. We might as well go with what we have in-house, and we're all knowledgeable, so we might as well share the information with each other.
I myself envision maybe, an open forum for people to come up to the mic, if you will, maybe talk about some new species that they're keeping or some new breeding effort or some new challenge that they're encountering and asking for advice or just sharing that information as well.
Yes, that'd be a great idea.
Wonderful. Now, also at the member meetings, we plan on integrating our breeder award program, and we've got Patrick here today, and Patrick can speak to what we envision there. There have been many groups in the past that have had what they call BAP or HAP. BAP stands for Breeder Award Program and really has to do with the fauna instead of the flora, and the HAP program is Horticulture Award Program, and that's something we hope to launch down the road. This is Pat, everyone, and he is our chair of our Breeder Award Program.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Dorian, and I've been in charge of the Breeder Award Program. This is just to start. I got a rough draft of a pamphlet to go out to anybody that showed up today, and in the future we'll have it a little bit better revised, a little bit more information available in here. Just a rough go over all this. Starts out with our point system to give everybody an idea of categories of fish in each individual group and how much points are awarded for different species.
So if I get that right, people breed fish at their home and they earn points based off of perhaps like the difficulty and or complexity of the species, or perhaps if they're endangered or something like that?
Correct. The main goal for myself and a lot of people with the BAP program is to breed and bring awareness to CARES fish and endangered and extinct fish that went extinct in the wild and are only available in the aquarium trade. So a lot of these fish are not the most sought after of fish. A lot of them are greens and browns and grays, and not a lot of people really like to keep gray fish. So the idea is to hopefully get people with fish rooms or people that do like to breed fish to maybe set up one tank in the side of their fish room and dedicate that to a species that normally they won't breed, or normally, I'm probably not going to be able to sell a ton of these because they're not real pretty and not everybody's going to be real interested in them. So really that's the main goal behind the Breeders Award program. That, and a lot of people just like to be acknowledged for the fish that they do breed. So if you are interested in breeding and being acknowledged for the fish that you breed, and maybe just helping us take care of fish that are only still available in the hobby or that might be very close to being extinct in the wild, that is really the main goal of the Breeders Award program to myself.
Awesome. And then we'll probably reward those efforts with various, awards, master breeder.
We have a point system set up, awards and prizes. We haven't really got 100%. One thing that is on here that we haven't even talked about within the members of the group and committees, I'd like to, if you become a master breeder, which is not the easiest thing to do to accumulate enough points to become a master breeder, is maybe a lifetime membership to the organization, or $100, something that's really a big incentive for somebody that may be interested in this program.
Absolutely. Wonderful. And I also believe that part of the program, we intend to have the breeders bring some samples, if you will, of the fry.
Yeah. When you get into the program itself, the way it does work is that when you submit fish that you want to BAP, so I want to be recognized for I'm breeding this certain species, you actually donate 5 fish from that species to the club, and then they would be auctioned off at the club meetings. These bi-weekly meetings is where this would take place. And that's also a good place for other members and other people to be able to get their hands on these rare fish or these caresless fish that you don't really see at the pet stores or commonly in the hobby.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited about the Breeder Award program. I'm going to pass the film back over to Dustin here. Part of the Breeder Award program will also be capturing the environmental conditions of the species that people are interested in breeding. And so we at CEACich Aquatics are going to be integrating a water testing program. It's voluntary, but it will help assist other breeders in trying to approximate the same conditions that led to a successful spawn for one individual. So currently we are able to test pH, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, phosphate, calcium, total dissolved solids, conductivity, and carbonate hardness. And we've gone to the effort of procuring some very reliable probes for the purpose of this water testing program. And again, it's voluntary, but it allows us to capture more data about successful breeding efforts. And then we hope that we can take that data and put it into a presentable form for inclusion into our Breeder Award Program corner of our quarterly newsletter as well. So people can talk about their successes and back it up with some physical data about what led to their success. Here's phosphate, total dissolved solids. Love this probe right here. This one does pH, conductivity, total dissolved solids, salinity, and temperature all in one. So we've acquired some really good equipment. We've got the calibration equipment as well to make sure that everything stays within specs. But I've done some comparisons to other tests on the market and found them far more accurate than the standard API test master test kit that most people rely upon. But good information there. And again, you can bring in water samples to our member meetings or arrange a discussion with one of our officers, and we'd be able to come out to your home and test the water, or we'll probably end up doing a loaner program with some of these probes as well for people who want to do more detailed and more frequent analysis on their tanks. So we'll be acquiring more probes in the months to come and expanding that program along with it. So we've talked about our swaps, we've talked about our newsletter, about our member meetings, about our public-facing website, our Facebook page, our Facebook group. Also on our public-facing website, I mentioned the knowledge base, but it is also where you can go to join CEACich Aquatics. You can actually join online at CEACich/membership, and you'll find out more information about the perks of membership, some of the benefits that can come through membership, not only providing the funding for those events we talked about, but you get $5 off of swap tables. So if you're a vendor and you intend on having a table at our future swaps, for each table that you have, you get $5 off of its standard fee. Normally that's $10 to $30 depending on the venue. So our membership, we eliminated our individual membership. It's just family memberships. It's $14.95 per year, and that goes from the date of payment. So you get a full year of membership for that fee, and that includes your spouse and two children under the age, or any children under the age of 18. So it also allows you early entrance into our swaps. So all of our paid members get in 30 minutes early. And if you've been to the swaps before, you know a lot of the good stuff goes first. And so that early entrance really is a perk for our members to find exactly what they're looking for at a good discounted price. Speaking of discounts, we do offer discounts to our members as well at 4 area pet stores. So Firehouse Aquatics in Marshalltown area, and Aqualand in Des Moines, and then we've got Fantastic Fins in Omaha, and we've got Fish Freaks in Omaha. So each of those retailers is offering a discount. It varies by retailer, but we've been directing a lot of people out to Firehouse Aquatics recently, and they've been promoting our membership as well. So we're very thankful for that partnership. And we hope to expand those partnerships in the months and years to come as well, so that our membership actually has some financial value to its members as well. We'll provide discounts on club apparel. So we've got t-shirts currently. To all the attendees today, they received a free t-shirt. This is just one of our first that came out, but we'll have more in future events. Kind of played with some political satire on this t-shirt. But we'll have stickers and that are intended for your vehicles or on your aquariums. We plan on doing much more merchandise in the time that follows, maybe some coffee mugs and things like that. Again, you get access to our knowledge base on our public-facing website, access to our BAT program, access to our future horticulture award program, and inclusion on any of the fish shows when we do the tours from place to place. So all in all, you get a lot of bang for your buck for just $15. If you're a vendor, you're going to recoup that cost in table savings alone, let alone the discounts that you're going to receive at our participating partners as well. So we really would like to direct you to our public-facing website. Again, I'll put the links in the bottom of this video, but CEACichaquatics.org, and you'll find all the information that we shared here today, as well as information about our board of directors. You'll have information about our offices that we have, who our officers are, and about our process for elections. We intend this to be a group for the people and by the people, and so our present board of directors and our present officers will be replaced in the not too distant future. So we're looking for participation and involvement, and for people to find the niche and the committee that they're interested in, and if they're interested in going for board of directors in the future, I believe we'll be hosting elections for that in under a year. So our roles are not a permanent one. We envision this as a living, growing club, and we really look for your inclusion. Thank you.